All right, welcome back. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Talkative Sports podcast. And shoot, we had some exciting football today. Champions League came back and it was a lot. But before we get to that, Shags, how you been?
Been good, man. Same old grind never stops. It's always something new. And we're back again. A new episode. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. As you can imagine, it's been a very busy time. Um, just when it rains, it pours. And there's a lot that we have to handle going forward, but we'll make it. We'll make it through. We'll make it through. But let's get into this football, yeah? So, as I mentioned earlier, Champions League came back and we had a heck of a game today from Real Madrid and Arsenal. Match today was the first leg located at the Emirates Stadium. So Arsenal's stadium. Second leg will be at the Bernabeu next week. So um, we will get to whether or not that will affect anything when we get to predictions. But before that, let's talk about the match itself. First half, right, was to be honest, it was an all-out Arsenal affair. It's just Arsenal could not get on the end of any of the good crosses that um, Saka sent in, except for one, which was a header by Declan Rice and was ultimately saved by Courtois. And so that was probably that, and I believe another shot from Marino was their only good chances in the first half. On the flip side, Mbappe did have a couple cracks at the goal, but today he just left the shooting boots at home, and first half ended 0-0. Things really get interesting in the second half, and that's where Arsenal decided to blow open the doors. And I should say more specifically, Mr. Declan Rice, who had himself a day. Two free kicks, two direct free kick goals. Second one better than the first, and the first one was already crazy. And
Yep.
then Arsenal finished it off with a goal from Mikel Merino to finish the match 3-0. Wow.
Great match. Shocking scenes. Declan Rice. I had to order some jollof rice just because of. I swear it's right. Okay, it's over there now. But I did get some jollof rice because I was like, "Yo, he showed up today." Uh, the free kick. Oh my God, both free kicks. I agree. Technically, the second one is better because it was top right corner. Courtois near post was the far corner too.
Oh
I
man.
really loved the first one.
Oh,
I don't know
the first
why.
one was insane. The
For
first
the
one was
first
insane.
one, like the curve on that ball, it was
That ball went out so wide and just curved all the way back in. That was
literally
insane.
like
Insane.
90 out of 100 free kicks like that are hitting the post or going out, but that one just yeah, Declan Rice showed up. I guess I'm not gonna say he justified the price tag, but like man, he really looked like 100 million midfielder today, and Real Madrid could not cope. We could
I
not.
don't know. I would say he's definitely, worked up to the price tag of 100 million. I mean, this isn't the first time, although this is an extreme example of his abilities and what he can do given the freedom, but this isn't the first time he's been free, so to speak, to kind of just have a more offensive output in the match itself and come up with a couple goals. I mean, I think we've been seeing that a lot, quite a bit this season. I think we're seeing it a lot more now that it's for sure they don't have a striker up front, with both of their strikers and Jesus and Kai being injured, I believe. And so um, right now they're doing the best that they can, and that involves Declan Rice going up and being the striker his damn self. Today he had five shots, three on target, two goals. It was crazy. Even before the hat trick, he was, I mean, hat trick. Even before the two free kick goals, he was a constant threat. Even before he started, sending off shots, he was making himself available in the final third. His link-up play with on either side with both Saka and just a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal day he had. Um, Looking at the Real Madrid side, what is there to say about this performance?
Oh man, like I was definitely gonna comment on this because it's a whole lot of, oh, the Madrid players didn't do this, been stepping over each other, trying to force it. Mbappe was decent, but it's like I think they just got out tactic, to be honest. I think Arteta definitely should get some praise for this game plan that he did.
Hmm.
And he effectively neutralized Real Madrid. Ancelotti, there's been a lot of talk about Ancelotti's vibes and winning, but when you come up against a team like Arsenal and Arteta, where they know exactly how they want to play, what they want to do, and they actually did believe in themselves this time, and they didn't allow Real Madrid to get back in the game at all. They shocked them with the first one, hit them again with the second one. Declan Rice, obviously more to Declan Rice, like really stepping up when his team needs it. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why you pay that much for those type of players when you don't have a striker. You're missing. Your Odegaard was low key missing. I'm not. Let's not forget Odegaard went missing,
He,
and
he, he, okay, well, he wasn't a threat on goal,
he
like
was a
Marino,
passenger.
like Marino and Declan Rice. He was participating in the link-up play. He did find himself in some dangerous positions in the final third, linking up with Saka and such. So I think it is a bit unfair to say he was a passenger. He definitely had some participation in
It
there.
is fair to say he was the worst Arsenal player on that pitch. Not that he was bad, but he didn't look.
I
To
don't
be
know.
honest,
There was a whole Martinelli out there.
I'm not trying. Oh, Martielli had chances though. Although he didn't take them as usual. But I'm not
That's what
trying
I'm
to say
saying. I
that
think,
Odegaard. I think Odegaard could have had a much better game, but he was
that's
just
fair.
completely overshadowed by Rice, and that's why you have teammates for. You're allowed to have a bad game. Not even just a normal game, but as long as other players stand up, nobody really gonna hold you too much. Now, if they had not won or they had lost, that would be more of a talking point. But Arsenal play together as a team. They have a right midfielder scoring goals up front. This is all down to Arteta's tactics. He's got this team playing really good football. Um, and Real Madrid just I think they underestimate them. They don't Real Madrid they have a plan of attack, but they don't do it consistently enough in big games, at least this season either. Like their clutch factor not really showing up. They're getting beaten by Villarreal's and Barcelona keeps spanking them. Uh Against who did they knock out? Was it Man City? Against Man City. They showed up that game, but they did not play even half as well as they did against this Arsenal team, and
I think
that's
there was a lot.
that's
I do on that point. I do think while I can't say 100% certainty that they underestimated him, I do think there was some shades of underestimation in there because to your point on the Man City match, they were a lot up for the game, much more than it seemed like they were today. Um, And so I think on the side note, I do think that a lot of what has that to do with is due to the fact that we it's been a rivalry the last couple of years between them, and especially in the Champions League. You really went back to back to back. They knock us out, we knock them out, win. They knock us out, win. So it's like that's the
yeah,
with
it's
that being there,
something.
you can understand the emotion
Yeah,
that exists. So they had a reason to be up. I know for a fact once it was sure, once it was sure that we were gonna face them, I'm sure that was circled. I mean, I know I circled it on our side, being a fan and whatnot, knowing full well that even though this season we've been trashed, it's probably gonna end up in a loss. It's just like there's hope because why couldn't there be? I'm a City fan at the end of the day. But
I think
back.
definitely they didn't want they could not let you guys knock them out two in a row. Like they were like, no, we must win this game. We got to play well. They're doing the best. But against Arsenal, I think the game plan was more just play your normal game. You get your chance, you score. But then those two free kicks went, and then it's hard to see them coming back from that.
I mean, you should have taken your chances earlier, and like I think that's a fair game plan. And that isn't to say they didn't get chances, but hey, when they
Yeah,
show up,
and
you gotta take them.
Courtois was saving them too, as usual. Defense, they were. It could have been worse. It could have been worse for them. Marino scoring against them is just like
That was a sweet goal too.
it's just it's just like yo, like what are you? Like how did that? How is this happening? Like you guys are getting cooked right now. But also I don't think they can believe it. I know they're just sitting. If they probably made it home by now, but the entire time the bus from the stadium, I know they went straight to the airport. The bus ride from the airport, it was just silent, just looking at each other. Probably some fighting too. Like,
No, definitely some fighting. Yeah,
yeah,
that
I don't
Kamavinga got a red card, bro. Kamavinga got a red card so stupidly,
frustration. Like
so stupidly.
he was already suspended for the next leg, but like to get a red card, just
Well, I
the
don't think it carries. I think because due to the, I don't think it carries over due to the nature of the us being in a knockout stages at this point. So I think it's just he's just gone for the next leg, and then he should be back by the time
next one.
the next round. I believe so. Don't quote me on that though. We'll have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that's how it works in the like you wouldn't be suspended. Well, I may
Yeah,
be wrong.
I don't
We'll
know.
look that up. But looking forward to next week, right? As I mentioned earlier, the second leg is going to be at the Bernabeu. Do you think this gives Real Madrid any chance at turning it around? I mean, something that's already in their favor with this new format. There is no away goal rule, so it is just straight up 3-0. I mean, it was a home thing in a way, so it doesn't matter at this point. But that's something they don't have to worry about. So it's straight up 3-0. They score three while keeping a clean sheet. I mean, score four while keeping a clean sheet. You win outright. Score three while keeping a clean sheet. Extra time.
If there's any team that could come back from 3-0, it's probably Real Madrid. But to me, if Arsenal play, even they don't even have to play as good. Well, they will. They have nothing else to play for. They're going to play as good as they did this game. The only thing is Madrid going to take their chances to even get up to that 3-0 berth. And I just don't see it happening. I don't see Arsenal not scoring again. Of course, I only saw them scoring one goal this entire throughout these two legs, but I don't see them capitulating again. Like it surely not, right? 3-0. So what, they're gonna lose 3-0 or 4-0 or 4-1 to force overtime.
Hmm.
I think I've done enough Arsenal doubting all season. I'm just gonna give them. I'm just not gonna doubt them this for this one game. I'm not gonna doubt them. Now, if they failed me and somehow throw away a 3-0 lead, even though it's at the Bernabeu, I probably will never back them ever again in this life. Just saying, like Arsenal, they have set even at 1-0. I thought, okay, if this game ends 1-0, that's the perfect setup for Real Madrid to either draw the game or lose 1-0, even 2-0, and come back in the second leg. But to win 3-0, that's like that's almost overcomable. And Real Madrid really have to they have to like play one of the best games they've ever played in the Champions League. Like in recent history, they have to win by 3 goals against this team that has nothing else left but to don't concede 3 goals. This is one of the best defensive teams in Europe. All they have to do is not concede three in 90 minutes, and they're into the semifinals. And I don't see them failing to do that. It's a very simple ask. They already have
Well, I wouldn't say
enough.
simple. It is Real Madrid on the other side.
I mean, it's this the same Real Madrid that just lost 3-0. The same Real Madrid that lost 4-1 to, was it Real Sociedad or Villarreal over the
You're
weekend?
right.
You
You're
know, it's the
right.
same
You're
Real
right.
Madrid that was spanked by teenagers 8-2 over two different games in El Clásicos.
All right, you make a good point. For me, I don't. I also find it tough to believe that Arsenal won't be able to come to pull this out, especially with the lead that they have currently. Um, what I will say is I do think that there's a good chance that I do think there's a good chance that Real Madrid does make this a go to extra time. But I do believe Arsenal will, ultimately come out on top. So the next week's match is definitely a must see, must watch for sure. For sure. It's going to be as electric. Absolutely electric. But that is for next week. There was another Champions League match that took place today. Inter Milan, Bayern Munich. Inter Milan has taken it 2-1 against Bayern, with the goal scorers being Lautaro Martinez and Fratesi, to a goal scored by Muller for Bayern Munich. Wow. Obviously, I did not have much eyes on this game because I was watching paying attention more to the Arsenal Real Madrid game because there was a lot going on in that match. But um, Inter Milan, I mean, Lautaro Martinez had himself a day, as well as in the build-up, I believe, who was it? I always forget his name.
The guy who got the assist, Thuram.
Yes, Turam. There we
What's
go.
his name? Yep. Her namesake.
They both were electric today. They were a constant threat. Definitely gave the Bayern backline a hard time. Um, and which ultimately you saw that pay out to the opening goal, and then they were able to pull it out in the end. So I'm gonna say this outright. I really don't think. I think Bayern had a good run. I think they can always pull it out in the second leg. Please don't take this. I just think it's going to be tough considering this was an away match for Inter and they managed to pull it out 2-1. So I believe they're going to have the advantage now that it's going to be back in their home in Italy. So it, Byron, you had a good run. If I were to put a bet on it, I can't put a bet on it on you being able to pull this out and advancing. I really do think with the way Martinez and Thuram has been looking as in the Champions League, the way the team overall that we know Inter to be, they're very defensive. They know how to make things tough for their opponent. I just cannot see them not being able to pull this out and advance to the next stage. What say you?
Well, I would like for it to be over for Bayern, but I don't think so. It's only a one goal advantage. You know, if Inter can show up and beat Bayern at the Allianz, there's no reason why Bayern can show up to the San Siro and beat Inter. Um, I think Inter have been very good. Their strike partnership is deadly. Martinez's goal was just ultimate link up play. I don't even think he looked. He just knew he was behind him, and that outside the boot finish, phenomenal. Muller came coming on at 35 to equalize. That's just like that's every Bayern quarterfinal for the past 10 years at this point. Like Thomas Muller, I'm so glad that they're not giving him a new contract. I'm tired of that man. But yeah, Inter is like, they're good. They're a good team. They've been a good team for a while. In fact, they're on. I think they're leading in Italy right now. They're top of the league in Italy by 3 points.
Let me go see.
Yeah, they're on top by 3 points now. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
they're a very strong team. I think that this might be the first. team in Serie A to like go back to back in like 10 years. I think they did win it last year, right? Let me see. Yeah, they won it last year, and it'll be like the first time like 10 years they'll go back to back. So Inter are a very good team, but they're not above a capitulation, especially if, and it wouldn't even be a capitulation. It'd just be Bayern showing up and playing a good game and being clinical. I think this is definitely at least out of these two matches we've seen, this is the one to watch next time. Um, because Inter, Bayern, they're both really strong teams, both top of their league, and Bayern are just not gonna go quietly into the night. They're gonna fight back. It just remains to be seen if Inter can pull out another great performance. Because it's not like they kept a clean sheet.
That's true.
I didn't really watch that game as much as I was watching the other one, but I I I
I,
I mean, let me
my
look at the stats.
my thing is, as far Bayern had possession 58.4 to 41.6. Um, the Bayern also had more shots, but I really only care about the shots on that were on target, which was in their favor, 7-4. So, everything else was about comparable. So if you could say, Bayern, they played well. They played well. It's not like Inter, beat them up and down the pitch or anything. But my thing is their back line, specifically the partnership of Eric Dyer and Kim Min Jae, it's been suspect all season. And so, and this is coming from a Manchester City fan whose defensive backline has been suspect all year as well. So I think it takes one to know one. I just can't put my faith in them. They're not going to be able to keep a clean sheet. So with that being the case, you already know there's going to be a tougher match for you just from the onset of it.
Also worrying is Davies is out till December. Musiala is out till early May. They their attack isn't as potent as it was. Even newer is injured. Coleman is gone. Definitely is advantage Inter. It definitely is. I forgot Eric Dier was their starting defender at 31. They have a 21-year-old goalkeeper playing for them. Defense is suspect. Inter definitely they're gonna have to outscore Inter in this. And
That's basically what it is. It has to be a shootout.
oh, Leroy Sané, a fraud. Olise is still young, but he's talented. But he would do better if what's his name, Musiala was on the pitch with him. Then we have Harry Kane, of course, being Harry Kane.
Yeah, because Olize, before Musiala got injured, he was having himself quite a season. All right, moving
Yeah,
forward
I
to
definitely
the
advantage Inter. But Bayern, you, you've done enough. You you had a good run. It's not. It wouldn't be the end of the world if they get knocked out by Inter, who are just flying at the moment.
but I mean,
They're only 3
domestically
points,
they're doing well. They have a what is that, 6 point gap
3 point.
on the second place. So,
Yeah,
only two losses on the season domestically. So if they continue as they are, they won't have to worry about, finishing the season off trophyless if this isn't truly in fact um over for them in the Champions League, because I believe it to be so. But we'll see how that goes next week. Moving on to tomorrow's set of matches. Two more matches. We look at the other half of the UCL bracket. Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund, and then the other match being PSG and Aston Villa. To be honest, I'm going to start with the easier one of the two to discuss. PSG, Aston Villa. I don't like how Aston Villa has looked. They haven't been, how can I say, consistent. They've come to be pretty kind of unpredictable, in my opinion. I mean, they just came up and won about against Nottingham Forest. Let me go look at some of their fixtures here. Oh, coming into this, they've been playing well.
Yeah, they beat Forest, they beat Brighton. I think they're on a win streak actually.
Yeah, they're on a win streak. I guess it was before March. Yeah, I'm thinking back to the Newcastle loss. That's so far. That's way too long ago.
Yeah, they've been playing actually pretty well. They only
Since
lost in
yeah,
like the past 10 games. More like 15 is the Crystal Palace drawing against Ipswich, Liverpool.
yeah, Crystal
They've been
Palace
good.
loss was shocking. Okay, so now that I'm looking at this, PSG. Let me look at you. Okay, PSG is doing as I
PSG,
expected him to do.
PSG have definitely even been even stronger coming into this game. I think they won the league this past weekend too. So all they really
That's
have
not
to focus
surprising.
on is Champions League. So for me personally, I think this is the end of Villa's great run.
I was about to say the same.
Um, like another like just like Bayern, like y'all have a good run. I think they need to focus on getting back to the Champions League via the league. I
Which is already going to be tough. However, thanks to Arsenal's effort today, the fifth position is an additional Champions League spot, but you know,
thank you, Arsenal,
it,
finally being useful for once. And
but it is going to be tough. It is going to be tough. There's about what six, no, 7 games left, 7 matches left, and it's a dogfight between Chelsea, Newcastle, Manchester City,
and
and
Allianz,
themselves, Aston Villa, for that 4 or 5 spot. Chelsea and Newcastle, same, tied for 53. My city has 52, and then Aston Villa right behind with 51. So it's
it's gonna be a really tough run and really really tough. Me personally, I'm just gonna say, well, I can save that prediction for the next topic. But as far as Villa goes, they need to fight. I think they'll have a really good game over 2 legs against PSG. I don't think they have the firepower to power them through. PSG are just better. They have more experience in the league. They have this is their one thing that they've wanted the since they've been a club, since they started signing these players, since the days of Ronaldinho and Beckham. Like this is all they wanted, and that's why I'm wearing their jersey. And I'm like, yeah, this is their year to win the Champions League. And I think, especially with Arsenal looking to progress, it's advantage PSG for this. And
okay.
they need to get by Villa.
I agree
I
with
don't
you.
think it would be a cakewalk, but they should beat them over 2 legs.
Okay, I agree with you with the point on PSG. I also believe that they should beat Aston Villa over 2 legs. Um, and there's really nothing else I have to add. Because you've pretty much summed it all up quite quite good, I might add. So I guess the only thing I would say is with the way Marcus Rashford has been playing, I think that is, and I can't believe I'm going to say this about a former Manchester City. Well, I guess I can say this about a former Manchester United player because he's no longer wearing the red. Because you wouldn't catch me saying this about him, if he was still wearing the red. But I do think if there's going to be a surprise and Aston Villa somehow, some way comes out and goes through, I do think it's going to be because of their new signings, Marcus Rashford being at the front, and um, the other signing, I forget his name at the moment.
Arsenio, who is
Asensio, Marco
yeah,
Asensio.
is
Yep,
he even going to be allowed to play? Can
that
he
is a
play?
good question. Let me look that up. So it says here, yes. is eligible to play.
Yep,
Not only that, he can play against he can even play against PSG.
he can play against. Okay, cool. That's That's good. That's good. But I think more on Rashford, Marcus and Asensio are gonna have a streets won't forget type performance before they get knocked out. Respectfully, it's just not gonna be enough. I don't think you really can beat with two on loan players as good as they are. I think Asensio is on loan from PSG for a reason, the same reason Rashford.
I
What?
mean, because Dembele has found himself. That's the reason. Dembele has found himself. I know Barcelona is looking at this like, where was this while you were here? Because I cannot lie, the guy has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I think they will play well. It's just not going to be enough. I and I think their best chance of actually qualifying for the Champions League, they need to win the FA Cup. They can if they win the FA Cup, they qualify for the Champions League. So
I
they don't
mean,
have to finish top. They should try to, but they also have a plan B in case that doesn't work out. And I think whatever path it takes, get into the Champions League, sign Asensio fully, sign Rashford fully. You have the money, and then they'll be all
that's fair. You know, Man City is also trying to go for the FA Cup. We have Nottingham Forest in the next leg. Aston Villa has Crystal Palace, and so you know, assuming they win, they got to see us. And to be honest, I know Pep would feel much better um, if we were to gain qualification into the Champions League by winning the FA Cup, so we don't even have to worry about stressing about this table. Because right now, that logjam of four for two spots is crazy.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you guys also have to get past Nottingham Forest to see either Aston Villa or Crystal Palace. So let's
I
not.
know I'm not underestimating them. Hold on,
Uh,
I'm not underestimating them because the you, we don't realize there's only 7 games left, and Nottingham Forest is in third place.
yeah,
That is insane to think about.
yeah. They have one of the best dark horse seasons I've seen in years. Just
Honestly,
and
honestly.
they could reach the FA Cup final. They could win it. Like it's actually a real possibility for them. Yeah, they're having a great year.
So
They're not to
trust
be.
and believe, trust and believe. I am not underestimating him in the slightest. But it's going to be a tough match. I just believe my guys should be enough to make it through. I know we don't have Haaland, but my guys should be enough to make it through. Um, but bringing it back to Champions League, we do have one more match tomorrow to kind of preview. Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund. To be honest, I don't think there's much left. There's much to say about this. Barcelona has been having a great season. As for Borussia Dortmund, they have not. They are one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eighth in the Bundesliga, and by all accounts, will not be qualifying for Champions League next season. So yeah, I think this Borussia Dortmund will make some kind of effort to make it a match. They probably will score um, 1 or 2 goals in this leg, but in this tie here, not the tie, the whole tie, but this leg here. But I do think Barcelona is going to outscore them. I wouldn't be surprised to see a score line of 4-2 tomorrow.
It's time to send those fraudulent bums BVB back to Germany. Like send them like this. I've never I've never seen a team like when it comes to frauds, when you're talking of the all time great fraudulent teams like Spurs and Arsenal, people always forget about Borussia Dortmund. All right, they're right up there with the best of them, and I've seen enough, and it's time for them to go home. Barcelona do the needful, slap them around, uh, like just play your kids, play your teenagers. This is gonna be like a training match. Just do what needs to be done to send them home because I am so tired of that team. I don't like those. I don't like Dortmund anymore at all. I am not giving them any type of respect. Just wrap it up quickly so we can go on to the more important games like the PSGs and the Arsenal and the Inter game. This one is it's like giving them a buy. It's not a buy. It's like a what is it called? It's a buy round for them. They just have to show up and play. That's it.
I have nothing else to add, man. I have nothing else to add. I have nothing else to add. I've
I
been
don't know.
disappointed.
Nobody
I've been
believes.
disappointed by BVB too many times.
Yeah,
If BVB may somehow wins this tie, I'll be very surprised.
yeah.
If BVB somehow makes it to the final, oh my gosh.
He'll be one of the greatest shocks. I thought Arsenal beating Real Madrid 3-0 was a shock, but by BVB beating Barca would be even more of a shock. That would be like, how
Right.
did they pull that? Nobody believed in them, and they did it.
At all. All right. And this concludes our Champions League portion. Catch us back next week when we discuss how all the other matches went. And yeah, surprises, surprises. But speaking on surprises, we segue to a big surprise that's by this point you would have already known, doubly so if you are a Manchester City fan. Last time I appeared on the podcast, we spoke about Manchester City and how there is going to be a great exodus of players as soon as the season is over, and the summer is upon us. Over the past, what, 5 or 6 days, we've had our first domino. It is official. It's the end of an era. My GOAT, not only my GOAT, but the GOAT, greatest midfielder in Premier League history. My favorite player, Kevin De Bruyne, has officially made it known that he will not be returning to Manchester City next season. Now, from everything that I've read, from all the different Manchester City, uh, well, I'm not sure what the correct term is to call them out there in England, but over here they'd be the beat writers, the people who, spend day in and day out, reporting on a team and such. It was not from, Kevin De Bruyne not wanting to stay at the team. He did say he would be more than willing to play a lesser role. It was just, the upper brass decided that it would be in their best interest to just, make a
Let
clean break now. So, and make a complete refresh of the team, and really give the team over to the, young players that we have coming in right now, the young players that have already been established, the likes of Foden. As an example, Foden, oh, I'm out here forgetting the names of our players, but the guy that we like to slot in at right back and left back every now and then, the very young and with the flowing hair, who I wish I had his hair. Um, hmm?
is it Gonzalo Ramos? It was the guy that Pep was roasting the. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm definitely going to view him because if he does in fact sign for Inter Miami, we get to see a midfield of Lionel Messi and Kevin De Bruyne. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of excitement there with that happening. But man, I just want to say, Kevin De Bruyne, thank you for all your effort. Absolute legend. You will be getting a statue out front along with next the likes of Cole and such. So thank you for everything. Thank you for giving it your all, your body, your soul, everything. Um, has been very much appreciated, and wherever you go going forward, I wish you the greatest, and know that you are have been very much appreciated from this guy and all the rest of the Manchester City fans, I'm sure. Oh, and last but not least, thank you, Chelsea, for making such a mistake. Thank you, Shegs. I knew you were a real one. Or are you not a Chelsea fan?
I am a Chelsea fan, but okay,
Okay, so
you're
you have something to
welcome.
do
You're
with it.
welcome. Thank
Thank you,
you
thank you,
for
thank you.
finally saying thank you to me. I've been trying to get that from you for a long time now. I gave up on it, but you're welcome. You're welcome for KDB. Shout out to KDB. He had a great career. Definitely, any Chelsea fan would tell you this. Definitely one of our biggest regrets letting him go, letting him Salah go. Now, to our defense, they look like it would just be like any other player, young player that we might go let go. But there's always that one or two where hindsight is 2020, and we should have kept them. Okay, they'd be constant thorn in my side over the past couple years. How many years was he at City for? 7?
No, 2015 is when we signed him. It's been 10 years.
10 years.
Yes, sir.
10 years of pain watching that man ball out. Thankfully, I never really saw him do too much against my team. I think he did score a couple of goals here and there, but it wasn't that bad where it's like, oh, I remember KDB just being a constant thorn. But, great footballer, great career, won everything. Um, uh,
Literally everything.
Yeah, I'm happy he's getting this clean break now. Obviously, 10 years of playing at being one of the best midfielders in the Premier League will have an effect on anyone, especially now that he's the guy at 33 for Belgium now. All the golden generation, most of them are gone. It's time for him to, get his farewell tour, wherever that may be, Inter Miami, Saudi, wherever he goes, he'll be fine. Um, yeah, and it's one step closer to that Man City rebuild. Like fresh start chance for Pep to start over. He's gonna need
Yeah.
someone new. He definitely does deserve that statue. Outside the stadium, along was right up there with the Agueros and the companies and David Silva's. He should be getting his own statue pretty soon. Eventually, probably after he retires or whenever that will be.
Shoot, no. I don't care if he's still playing into Miami, bro. The moment he's cleared his locker, we better start paying the architect to start come out, survey the area, start making models so we can, start, seeing, all right, do we accept this or we need to make a little tweaks here and there to finalize the design and start building. What? No. After he retires, get out of here.
I
That
think
man needs a statue there yesterday. I don't care if he's still playing.
that's like inducting an NBA player into that's like I mean LeBron should be in the Hall of Fame right now, but they don't give those out until after you retire, man. That's probably
Hey,
what they're
hey, hey,
gonna
hey,
do.
hey, hey, hey,
They,
hey.
just say,
Uh,
just say.
listen.
Logistic, like just saying, man. They don't build statues while you're still an active player.
I ain't trying to hear all that.
They don't do that. I mean, they should.
I
I
ain't trying
feel
to hear
you.
that.
I feel you, though. They should give it. Maybe hang a banner somewhere. I don't know what they're gonna do, but statue
Well,
is
retiring his kit for
good.
sure.
Yeah,
Retire his kit
yeah.
number for sure.
What is he?
17.
13? Okay. That's not a bad one to retire. But football jersey retirement's almost never happen.
That's fair.
Yes,
Um,
definitely. He's definitely one of the biggest top four, the big four. Like, how would you rank them? Aguero, Company, Silva, and KDB.
okay. It'd be KdB, Aguero, Company Silva.
Man, I don't think I can put KDB as that at the number one. But then again, I'm not a Man City fan. I would put Company up
I
and
see,
then Silva,
I
then
can't.
then KDB.
Nah, see, I can't do that. I can't do
This
that.
is legit.
Company and Silva have done a lot, and I know this isn't to disrespect them or anything, but like I still, Aguero, last second, shirt off, twirling, confirm the championship. Like there are things that and then and for until Mo Salah recently, he was,
I
the for
see.
international player, he was the cream of the crop. He
Yeah.
scored the most goals in the league. So I'm like, you know, and as for KDB, he did what Aguero did with the goals, with the assists multiple times over. If not for injuries, he'd probably not only would he have beaten the assist mark record for the single season assist number, he would have already I wholeheartedly believe this, he would have already reached the total number of assists. He's not that far off.
All right, let me reshuffle. Let me put Aguero, Company, KDB, Silva.
I can't
That's
have
just my.
KDB third.
That's
I
just.
can't have KDB third. I'm
I don't know.
sorry. KDB is too important. Swiss
Company is.
flip flopping Aguero and flip flopping Aguero and KDB. I'm fine. It's for me. It's a 50-50 shot. It's very very. I guess there's a bit of a bias because KDB is my favorite player.
I just think without
Oh,
Aguero, none of this is possible. It
and
just.
yeah, I
Uh,
agree. I agree.
Actually, can I sneak in Balotelli at five? No, just play.
Not. I mean, if you're gonna sneak in anybody else at five, it would be Yaya Toure.
True, 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 true.
Yeah.
There's some absolute legends that played for them.
Telling you, mind you, we went through this list. We didn't even mention Tevez.
Ah, Tevez. It was hard to sneak in there because he had his Man United history, but
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But you know what? I can only discuss about what he's done for us. So hey, before we move on, let's talk about the potential replacements real quick. Something that has two people that have been really flying around. One that you will definitely recognize in Florian Wirtz, but one that is a new entry that, to be honest, took me by surprise. It is Morgan Gibbs White.
Kaz would have been super happy to see Gibbs White being touted as a KDB because that's his boy.
I'm
Love
telling
it.
you.
He
I'm
loves it.
telling you. I guess I'm glad he's not here today.
Yeah, yeah, it went crazy. But I think it's all a matter of UCL, which now Man City have twice the chance to make it through the Premier League, and also there's
Mhm.
still the FA Cup. So I think they just go for Words and call it a day because Words is like I think compared only Mo Salah has had more goal contributions than him over the past 2 seasons in Europe's top
We're
five
also trying to get Morgan Rogers back from Aston Villa, so there's that.
permanently.
Yeah. So um if if that were to happen along with the Florian Wirtz, I also agree with you. If forget putting the Morgan Rogers bit of it to the side, um, even just between those two, I would rather Morgan Rogers because for me, I mean Morgan Rogers, Florian Wirtz because to me, Gibbs White isn't really a midfield player. He's a guy that typically plays out on the wings. And so I don't think that's the type of profile we're really looking for if we're thinking KDB replacement. We really need somebody that could really stick themselves in the middle and be a playmaking outlet for everybody. Because that's what we've really, that's what we really depend on, especially with the style of football that we play. As it unlocks everything, it's what allows Foden to come in and be that extra um, bit of support or an extra attack piece by when he comes in and makes himself available in the middle, in the gaps that just naturally appears as that main playmaker is holding onto the ball. Um,
I
They're the
definitely think
ones.
Gibbs White is like a a tier above Morgan Rogers though. Like he's definitely the better. But it's like if we want to go for one out of those three, it kind of has to be words. Like just go and
No,
get
definitely.
just go and get words.
I would go at my combination is Verts and Morgan Rogers because Verts is the best fit, as we said. Morgan Rogers is the younger player than Gibbs White. So that's me because I'm thinking of longevity and
Oh, out of
that
Gibbs and
regard.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All
So
right,
for me, if out
all
of
right.
those
Yeah, and
three, if we're getting
he
two,
played for y'all too. He's like
yeah, yeah.
okay, no,
So
makes sense, makes sense.
all right, that's all we got. And here we are, final topic of the day. Maybe quick, maybe not, depending on how you feel. But over the weekend, Chelsea did go 0-0 against Brentford. And it's been a run for you guys these last few weeks. Um, very topsy-turvy, some wins, some losses, some shocking performances. Um, the same slump from Cole Palmer all throughout. So I say all that to ask this question. Is Maresca already on a hot seat going into the end of the season and going forward?
Maresca has been on hot seat ever since he was first linked to this job. Like the problem with Maresca recently is that he thinks the seat. I don't know if it's mental illness, but it's like there's been a fire lit under his seat from day one, and that seat is like 1,000 degrees. But somehow he thinks it's very comfortable. You know the meme, everything is on fire, and it's like, oh, everything is fine. And I like it the way that's Maresca right now. He doesn't realize like how easily the ownership will switch up on him if he doesn't reach top four, and if he doesn't qualify for Champions League and win the Conference League. So I think him resting people for that 0-0, I'm not too upset at him for that. Especially since the last two games, the one we beat Spurs in and that one, we played players in their right positions. Cole and Madueke, Jackson coming back from injury, it's understandable not to play them the whole game, and we still should have won that game too. And sometimes you can't stick the ball into the net for them. Sometimes it's if we didn't create the chances, then I'd be like, Maresca, what are you telling these guys to do? But we did create chances, we just didn't take them. Same old story. I could blame him for that, but it's like Brentford has been spanking us for like we've been getting spanked by Brentford for the past 3 years. So 0-0, like as didn't Man City also draw? Man City drew. Who did?
Well, there's a reason I didn't add
Oh,
that game to the schedule
yeah,
because
yeah,
here's all I have to say about the Manchester Derby. That is the worst Manchester Derby in 5 years, at least 5 years. Um, on behalf of as a City fan, on behalf of football fans everywhere, as a City fan, I apologize to you for the performance of what my team put out there because that was a disgrace. The Manchester Derby is just that. It's a derby that it's like I won't say it's like the El Clasico, but to be honest, with the fire that sometimes is that comes with it, like there's
yeah.
a standard that needs to be
That's
met.
at some point.
And typically, over these last couple of years, the standard has just been one-sided. Now, while that doesn't still make for an exciting football match, still you get to see, something. But this, you saw nothing. There was nothing on display from both sides. That's to be expected from Manchester United. As for my squad, we've already had. I mentioned it before. This season has been completely awful. So we're just honestly trying to just make it our way into the finish line while hopefully qualifying for Champions League. So um, yeah, there's really nothing else I want to say
Yeah,
about that
it
match because
was a
there
bad
was nothing.
game.
It was. Mhm.
The first game playing the full 90 minutes, not creating a single chance. That's all you need to know about that game. Even though KdB is old now, a little bit washed. But yeah, like it's okay for Maresca to draw 0-0. Man City drew 0-0. We're still top four for now. So it's like you're in the hot seat, Maresca, but as long as you're not losing stupidly, you should hit our targets for you for the season. Just play players in position. Don't uh, don't. overthink things. Don't play by their shield at all. Don't start for real. Don't play Reece James in midfield. You know,
I
even
mean,
Cole Palmer being like, it's understandable when you realize that our fall coincided with Jackson getting injured and Cole going cold or hot, or whatever you want to say. So it's
I mean, Newcastle.
understandable, but at the end of the day, Maresca, if you do not hit those targets, you're gonna be there's not even gonna be a seat. We're just gonna dunk you in boiling water, and then they'll fire you. Like these coaches, these ownership, they've stuck with many coaches, giving them the longest leash, just to end up firing them at the end of the day. So it's like, yeah, overall, it's a good season. You know, overall, like we're in the top four at the end of the day. We've had a better season in the league, although it has been disappointing at times. You can see
You
where it's going towards. It's just like the execution is oftentimes lacking,
you
and
do
it's
know
like,
Newcastle has a game in hand, right?
yeah, they do have a game in hand, which is concerning. But at the same time, for now we're still in top four, and now top four or five will qualify.
Okay.
You just have to win. He just has to make it happen. I'm not going to like kill him or start like really going at him until he actually fails, because there's really no reason why we shouldn't.
Okay.
Um, like I fully expect him to do it. Like you rested players against Brentford, you got the 0-0 against a team that's been beating us over the past couple years. Good. I'm not mad at it. We should have won, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, now go and win the game you rested those players. Liga Warsaw. It's like it's an easy path. I'm not saying that every game is like easy, but it's like that's a winnable game right there. Just go win.
All
It's
right.
not the
We
toughest
shall
thing.
see. We shall see. Hopefully, Chelsea continues on this way and they don't collapse. And
By the way,
um,
we do play Newcastle last game of the season, so
yikes. So, I mean, hopefully things are decided before that, so it doesn't matter. But in the chance that it does, that will be something interesting to look forward to. But as far as today's episode, that in fact brings us to the end. If you've been with us for this long, as always, we appreciate you. Um, like, share with your friends, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again. Peace.